I go by Joy because I was named after my great-grandma Joy Cooley. So I do like that name. I'm going to introduce you to the other board members that are here this evening and just tell you about the ones that didn't make it. Okay, so we have our Vice President and Acting Secretary, Patty Cooley Wetzel. She's from California. Say hi, Patty.
Hi, everyone. Good to always see you.
And we have our second Vice President of Outreach, Nancy Tinsley. Hi, Nancy.
I
In Missouri.
In Missouri, yep. And we have David Cooley, who's our historian. Say hi, David.
Good evening, all.
He
Thanks
is
for joining.
back east in the nice storms that they're having. We have Jay and is Relia with you today? I saw her there. Yeah, there she is. So Jay Smith is our longtime treasurer, and Relia Smith, his daughter, is his backup. Excuse me.
Hello, everybody.
And we have our communique editor, and at the moment he is our social media person also, Rick Smith. Say
Hi, everybody. Southern California here as well. Good to meet everyone. See everyone.
And the only one that is missing is our genealogist, Kirsten Workman, who's from Utah. She didn't seem to make it tonight. Okay. So let's get started tonight by me telling you why you should join the Cooley family of America. Now, I know most of you are already members, but we do record this and post this, so I'm going to still wow you all with my presentation. Okay. Patty, can you put up the flyer that I sent you? We'll start the first one, why join?
Let me open that, please. Let's see.
So as you may not know, this year marks the 90th year that the Cooley Family of Association of America has been in existence. And we are extremely proud of that fact because there aren't very many family associations out there that are as strong as ours, nor that have gone on as long as ours. So we definitely are proud of that.
Okay, let me try this. Share. Right. And then please be this. Is this it?
That's the second one.
Uh-oh. Right. And this is in the email that you sent me, Joy?
Yeah, so I should have attached them both. But
okay.
if you
hold on.
Okay.
Close that. 2 attachments. Why join?
There you go.
Right.
So in honor of our 90th anniversary, we are working really hard to increase our membership. And mostly what we want is some younger generation to join us, because the younger generation is what keeps us going. If as our current membership ages, we need to make sure that we bring in the younger people to continue for, I'm hoping, another 90 years. So why should you join the Cooley Family Association of America? Well, to connect with your roots. We can help you connect with your roots by preserving and celebrating the rich history of the Cooley family, which is what the Cooley Family Association is all about. You joining this, you'll belong to a community of relatives who share a common heritage and sense of family pride. As a member of the Cooley Family Association of America, you can access valuable genealogy resources that'll help you explore and document your family lineage. And a lot of what we have in our archives isn't found anywhere else and is only accessible to members. Another reason to join is to participate. Now, we have our Cooley Zoom once a year, which is a nice thing to participate in. You can actually meet other members of the association that you don't necessarily get a chance to without coming to our reunion, which we hold once every 2 years. So attending the reunion, joining the Cooley Zoom, you get to participate in what our association stands for, which is continuing the Cooley family in America, continuing the genealogical research, and continuing to build our archives to document the history of the Cooley family. You can also meet distant cousins. The best time is the family reunions, and this family reunion coming up in 2026 is a fantastic one because it is our once every 10 years we go home to Massachusetts. So it's one of our larger ones. And attending the family reunions, you never know who you're going to meet. I've met a couple of distant cousins. When you're a member of the Cooley Family Association of America, you get the Cooley Communique, which we do distribute two or three times a year. It depends. Sometimes we don't have a lot to say, so we want to make sure that when we do send you the communique, there's a lot of information in there for you. And one of the most important things as a member of the Cooley Family Association is to help us to inspire younger generations to take part in our organization, to care about their own family legacy. And as a member of the Cooley Family Association, you're going to be part of a lasting legacy, and you're going to be able to contribute to the organization that's devoted to honoring our past while we're building our future. So once you decide to join, what we want you to do is to participate, because we're here for you for all of your genealogical needs, but we do need to help. We do need to have help in running the organization. So our organization is run by a board of directors. And Patty, can you put up the "We want you" be a board member, please?
Okay.
So our board consists of a president, a vice president, a historian, a secretary, a treasurer, a webmaster, and a communique editor, the genealogist, and a social media administrator, which is something that we are just exploring. We haven't built that idea out yet, but it is definitely something new that we need. Because in this day and age, if you're not on social media, you're practically invisible. So we are working hard. Rick, our communique editor, is working hard to... Okay. Working hard to help to promote our social media presence. We have a YouTube page, we have a Facebook page, and we are talking about different ideas on how to expand those. So what we need is more people to participate as members of the board. I'm sorry. I did what Nancy did. I lost a word. Okay. The tenure of each position is 2 years. So at the family reunion, we have a board meeting or a membership meeting. And at that time, we open up for people to nominate themselves or somebody else to a board position, and then we vote. It's the membership at that member meeting who makes the decision on who they want as their president and vice president, etc. Now, at the moment, we do have an empty position, secretary. Right now, our wonderful vice president, Patty, is standing in as our secretary, and it's kind of a lot of work for her to be vice president and secretary. So If you want to put your name in as the possible secretary, you just give me a email or any one of the board members. You let us know if you're interested in that position or any other. Now, just because somebody is in that position right now doesn't mean that you can't volunteer also, right? So I have been president for in at this reunion, it'll be 4 years. And if there was somebody else that was interested in following me, I would be very happy to step down, although I do love it and will go on as long as you guys keep voting me in. So take a look at this flyer right here. And if you want, I can send you a copy of it. It gives a little synopsis of what each position is consists of. And also our bylaws gives an extensive description of the duties of each position. So there you go. We want you to participate, join as a member, think about becoming a board member. And we also have the new position that Nancy will talk more about later. We are going to institute ambassadors, state ambassadors, to help promote our organization in each state and hopefully getting a wider audience to learn about us. So
Boots on the ground.
yes. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is turn it over to David. He's going to talk a little bit about our history and the project that he's working on now. David?
Thanks, Joy. Thanks, everybody, for joining the call tonight. My name is Dave Cooley. I've been a historian for a number of years and have been involved with the Cooley Family Association since the Long Meadow reunion 20 years ago, I guess, is when I was asked to, just like a lot of folks here are being asked to join and help out. That's when I was approached and came on as a VP and served 2 terms as a president and have been the historian ever since and really enjoy it. It's kind of been in our family, as you might expect, for many years. My great uncle did the first uh, charter, the first set of bylaws way back when, and the organization was founded in 1936. So this will be our 90th year. So we're excited about that. And every 10 years, we tend to come back around to Longmeadow because that was deemed by the founder Mortimer Cooley to be the base because Benjamin Cooley settled there back in the 1600s. And we're excited about that event. We're going to get out and see the land that still exists where Benjamin settled. We have found out since through DNA projects that we've got ongoing that there are at least 11 or 12 different Cooley lines that don't necessarily go back to Benjamin. But I think when everything was founded back in 1936, that everybody just kind of assumed Benjamin was the guy, and we all descended from Benjamin. But I'd say a good portion of us do, but there are some that don't. But every 10 years, the Long Meadow event is especially a nice one for all the Benjamin descendants to kind of figure out where they are in the lines and such, and also get back to the old stomping grounds, if you will. So we're excited about that. And Mortimer Cooley was the first dean of engineering at the University of Michigan, and took this project on along with his assistant and built the organization. And you know, I, as the historian, have all the documents that show the comings and goings of various officers and people and challenges the organization has faced over the years. And it's fun because they use a lot more interesting words and writings back then in the pre-internet era, but they still say the same thing. You know, it's we need younger people, we need more involvement, we need help, and so you know, this is not unusual, and this is part of the deal. But in volunteer organizations, as a lot of you know, are a challenge to begin with. So I think we're doing really well. We have a great keynote speaker lined up for the event, Derek Strahan, who actually is a Cooley also that we bumped into. He lives in a Cooley home from the 1700s in Longmeadow and is a far superior historian than I am in every sense of the word. So he'll be able to talk a lot about the Cooleys back in the Reverend Williams days and things like that, that I think everybody will find interesting. The digitizing project that has been ongoing for quite some time now, we've kind of upgraded our technology, and really all we need is more time to do it. But we have a central repository. Another Mortimer Cooley dream was to have a central location for everybody to visit. And eventually we decided, well, that in these days should be online and internet access, et cetera. But we still think there's a value to having a central location for our records to be housed. So we've accumulated over the last 10 years various collections from previous genealogists, previous historians, previous officers, and have those now in the Noble and Cooley uh, drum factory in Granville, Mass, right next to Longmeadow. So those are in safe hands, but we're looking to see, how far can we go to actually really have a retail, not a retail shop, if you will, but a freestanding storefront. Again, it's not a retail shop, but a location, a sense of place where we have all our items. There's also a big collection at the University of Michigan as well, so folks can visit there and see a lot as well. Um, so the digitization project is interesting because the records are in various shapes and sizes and bindings and such, and just takes a lot of time. So if anybody's in the Connecticut area and knows anybody that would like to help me out, I would appreciate it. A team could bang this out a little bit more quickly than me myself trying to pull it off. So we have a lot going on there, and then the DNA project, which is still ongoing. If anybody's interested, we can talk more about that. But lots of exciting things, and happy that you're all here, and hopefully folks will dial in and listen to the recording and follow up with any questions they might have. I'll turn it back to you, Joy.
Thank you, David. Okay, now we're going to hear from Nancy Tinsley, and she's going to tell us about her outreach programs.
Okay, as Joy mentioned earlier, our big plan and large goal is to have ambassadors in every state. If we could have a representative in each state, then any Cooley that had a question or a concern or just wanted to try and understand things better could get some information. I have these packets. All the board members got them, although you guys got them in brown envelopes. I saved the white ones for the others. And there's two different kinds of mailings that I sent out. I love emails, but there's something about having this trifold in your hand to tell people who we are and what we do and why we do it. And also share our excitement. That's it. Yeah. Also share our excitement about just having a family. Since all my Cooleys are gone now with my mom, I still have my Cooleys. And there's just something that's very uplifting about still having family. So I've sent out two different types of mailings. One type of mailing is to a large organization. And I sent that along with a letter that invited them to our family reunion and included, several things. Let's see. I included one of our flyers that we had about family reunions. I included a letter inviting them to come, and I included the pamphlet. So I also, in writing, had said that if you know someone who might be interested in their Cooley genealogy and wanting to, be part of a much bigger family, pass this information on. And that's kind of what I'm perceiving the ambassadors doing, is passing on information to any Cooleys in their state or their area. The second mailing is did not go to companies like the Cooley Construction Company, the Cooley Law Company. Those are all people that I've sent mailings to. But the second one went to members. And I had a whole list of members. I still have about 15. I think I have 15 left to go. And Jay was kind enough to give me names and addresses of people. And in their mailing, I put their invitation, indicate an invitation to be a Cooley ambassador. I also put our family reunion information, and I put a flyer, the trifold that Joy held up, so that they would also have the information. And hopefully I'll get some nibbles. I haven't yet. I got one from, oh gosh, I have to go get it. It's from I think he's an attorney, and he's belongs with the some justice department. And he said no, he couldn't do it. But so I was really glad that I sent it out. At least I know people are getting it, and some may respond and some may not. So we'll just see how that goes. I think I've got all of those, but I got about 15 left. And that was the list. I couldn't find Becky's information because I wanted to invite her. So hi, Becky. Because I know she expressed an interest, and that was over a year ago, in learning about that. So now I have her packet right here, and I'll just get it in the mail as soon as I can shovel the snow out and get up to the post office. She's next. So that's really what I've been doing with the outreach.
Thank you, Nancy. I was going to ask if you got any responses. Thank you for telling us, because I think
did.
that's
It was from I think it was from Washington, from Judicial Watch. I can't remember, but I did get a little note at Christmas time that said, thanks, but he didn't have the time to be able to do it, and I saved his envelope because I'll send him back a note for responding. So
that's great. It was nice of him to at least respond, so you know that they're getting them.
Oh yeah.
Nancy, you send me a copy of the letter that you sent out with them?
I can.
Thank you. I would like to see
The letter to all the companies.
the members.
The
members.
Oh, the one to the members. That's this one. The invitation to be an ambassador. I'll send you that. I thought you guys had all a copy. And then this one is hello to Cooley's across America. This is the letter that went to all the
I saw that one.
You got that one?
Yeah, the envelope you sent us had the flyer and the 2 letters that you held up, but not the one talking about ambassadors.
That's right. I need that. I'd like
You want just the ambassador one?
Send it to the board, Nancy, so we all have it.
Good idea, Patty.
Send it to the board.
Yes.
See?
Thank
Okay.
you.
See,
Yeah, for some reason I thought I did that, but I probably didn't. So
you may have
sorry.
sent a draft and then we just said we'll wait for the final or something.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've got both of these on here, so I'll make sure they go to the board.
Great. Okay, Nancy, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, now I'd like to hear from our editor, Rick. Do you have anything to share with us? Talk about your social media
You bet.
efforts?
Yeah, and I want to echo what a lot of folks said though about what it means to be a member of the Cooley Family Association. One, it's a privilege to be a part of the Cooley family itself, just by hereditary means. But to sit next to the folks we sit next to on this board, who really care about that heritage and the way we put forth our information to the next generation, spectacular. Since I joined the Family Association and become a member of the Sons of the American Revolution and other bits, I'd learned about my Cooley family through this organization, and it's wonderful. And it's something that I know that a lot of younger people are getting into more and more too, through a lot of the televised shows on genealogy, et cetera. And that's exciting stuff. We have, and when I took the position, I took on some of the social media stuff right away as well. And I think I got off to a fiery start, but time and work has slowed that quite a bit. So I appreciate the looking for a next generation of help for this board that can do more in social media. What you see on our social media pages is when we engage and when we have quality content, people do get engaged themselves. You can look on timelines and see spikes of our page. When good content is out there, people want to see that. They want to know more. And not everyone can be a poster. So when they see the content that they like, they jump in. And that's really an encouraging sign. We have about 10% growth in social media year over year. I think we can go a lot further than that. Admittedly, I haven't been posting like I again did early on in tenure, and that's something that needs to increase because that is the type of engagement I think that can get us a lot more roots put through the country, their family in a quick way. We're on, as mentioned, both Facebook and YouTube. Our YouTube offerings are mainly meetings. Thus far, a little bit of the Cooley DNA project was on there. And so we'll look when we start engaging a little bit deeper on social media to get family stories and to get folks experience with living Cooleys and with the genealogy and the history that they know of their Cooley families. So it's really encouraging when we do post and we see that engagement, and we'd certainly like to do more of that. So I am 100% behind the search for a social media person, someone who understands it and the posting of it, and I'll work right with them to get it up and running when that happens. So I encourage folks, if you have others in your family, if we bring many more folks into the organization, that we'll find the right person for that spot and can really exponentially grow in that area. So thank you for the time to talk.
Thank you, Rick. Okay.
I have a question for Rick. Do you think that it might be possible or even appropriate to, when you look at these letters that I send to the board and you see the invitation to be an ambassador and you see the Hello to Cooleys across America, which is a big, broad spectrum, see if you think they might be appropriate to post on a social site.
Sure.
I'm not familiar, with social sites. I am not a techie at all.
Well, I think the message, rather than maybe posting the actual letter, the message that's in those letters, I think is something very important to get out, to that broader audience as well. So absolutely. I'll keep my eye on email as well. And as soon as I get that in hand, I think that'll make a great post, and we'll add a little visual to it and make it appealing and ask folks to jump in with this. So yes,
Perfect.
Yes.
Absolutely perfect. Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you as always.
Great. Okay, now we're going to jump over to talking about the reunion. This is going to be an exciting reunion because we are going back to Longmeadow, where it all began for most of us.
So, Joy, I didn't let you know, but I did like a miniature PowerPoint. Do you want me to kind of?
Yes, I was just getting ready to turn it over to you.
Oh. Well, why don't you finish what you were going to say, and then I'll look for my little file.
I was just going to give the basics really quick. It's going to be from July 30th through August 1st. The first day we do a meet and greet, nice little cocktail hour, just to get to know everybody. And that's on Thursday. And then on Friday is our big day where we do lots of fun things. We keep you busy all day. And then we have a nice banquet in the evening. Then on Saturday, we do our business meeting, and then where we vote for any new board members. And then after that, we have a board meeting. Patty has worked really hard to get us a nice hotel. The Sheraton Springfield is the hotel she chose. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Patty, and she can tell you more. And then David will tell us about the keynote speaker.
Let's see. Stop share and let me see if I can find my PowerPoint. Is this it? Does this look like a PowerPoint to you guys?
It does.
Okay, good. All right. So I don't think I'm at the beginning of it either. Nope. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So, yes, this is one of the best places, I think, for the Cooley family reunions ever. It was like one of my favorite. I love what David said, that in this Longmeadow Springfield reunion, when he was there in 2006, that's when he stepped up. And I think he said he took on the role of vice president or something. This is the Sheraton. It's downtown. We have a special group rate, which is truly a good rate. Because Jay tried to book a couple rooms and it was $350 extra for 2 rooms.
My gosh.
So there is information that was sent out to the membership. There's a link, you could do it online, or there's a phone number that you can call and they will take our reservations. This is just a couple of like the architecture and the feel for downtown. And our keynote speaker, Derek, I think he's on the Preserve the Architecture Board or something like that downtown. So he tooled us around on our visit to just look at some specific places that might be of interest to folks. And so I'm going to show you just a couple slides of places that we might go on a bus ride and inside places that we might go as well. So I think it's Lucy Cooley is responsible for raising Johnny Appleseed as like this wonderful person. And the owner of this house is willing to have us come say hello. It's a very small house, so I'm not sure how many can go in at one time. But yeah, there's always good stories. And I think that there's an original, I forget what, doorknob or something there. From way back in I think the 1700s. I'm not sure. And then Derek works for the Longmeadow Historical Society. And so he said that he would also try to have some displays that are specific to the Cooleys. And maybe he can retrieve the Johnny Appleseed one, that shows the grocery list and other things. And then documents that are preserved, but they go back to the beginning with Benjamin, which is in the 1600s, and church records in the 1700s, and just obscure, fun things. Certain sides of the family attending meetings. I forget. Singing of hymns was really a huge subject back then, and to read the write-ups on it is fun. There are applications, I forget, at the Indiana reunion where you could take a photo of it with a Google something and it will translate this swirling 1600s script into something readable. So maybe we'll try to give that tip to people before we go in to this place. And then in Longmeadow is I think it's a preserve. So it's land that belonged to Benjamin that is not developed. And so we'll probably have to turn the bus around in the yacht club, roundabout, but we will be able to go out and look. And so I come from the Benjamin line, so I'm not being, limited in this. I think that the whole area is very, and what Cooleys did in those periods of time is relevant for all Cooley lines. But Benjamin was, he had a mill and he was weaving. And so it makes sense that he would want to be by a river and things like that we learn about. Here's our keynote speaker with our historian, David, who is, I think, my seventh cousin, seventh
Something like
generation
that.
cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then we take a little trip. I think it's about a 45-minute drive that may or may not have a stop on the way over to the Noble and Cooley Drum Company, but it's really the Noble and Cooley Preservation Historical Company or something like that. And our records are currently stored at this Cooley related property. And it's got a lot of history. And they do give us a tour of the drum company. And I think they made a drum for Abraham Lincoln and the Beatles and other fun things. And there's machinery and old wood and pipes everywhere. It's a really nice visit. And then I think this was where David said that we're hoping to have all the records ready for everybody down on the ground level and maybe some other artifacts.
That's correct.
Thanks,
That's
Dave.
it. That's the goal.
One of the places that we love to see, look at, etc., is this Gibbons and Sons store from 1851. We know in the founder of the Cooley family organization that he went in here. And so we're thrilled. It's still there. And we don't know what he had to eat in there, but we know what we did. And there's another gal, I think her first name is Cooley, but she's got a cute little place, Cooley and Company. And we thought if the weather isn't too bloody hot, we could, make a stop there because anything Cooley is fun, even if it's your first name. It had to have come from somewhere.
Oh, she's a cool.
The hotel that we're staying at, there's three of them. There's a Hilton Garden Inn, but there's no restaurant over there, but it is right across the parking lot from the Basketball Hall of Fame. So you could actually just pop over there when you're at this reunion. And then up the street from the hotel are historic buildings, companies, etc. But there's a phenomenal 5 museums in one place that I went and tooled around and looked at. And then I think this might be my last page. So that was just a couple visuals that you could look at the area and how beautiful it is. But it's the time together and our keynote speaker. And then we'll probably also go into, I think it's next door to the Historical Society. That's a cemetery. And they've got records of, the headstones are pretty old, so not all of them are legible, but you can look for some ancestors. And there's some Cooley specific things inside that Historical Society that I think that you'll be delighted by. And I think that's the reunion that I decided that I would step up and I would take on a board position, not just member at large, but an actual position. So what a coincidence with my seventh cousin. Back to you, Joy.
See, you never know who you're going to meet when you come to a family reunion. Thank you, Patty. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to David again. David, can you please tell us about this wonderful keynote speaker you found for us?
Absolutely. So Derek is actually a young guy with a wife and young kids, and eventually, through funny, circuitous workplace things, ended up in Longmeadow, which he didn't realize at the time he was a Cooley. But I was doing his research, and here he was working in the town where a lot of his ancestors came from, and he bought a house that was oh, it'll come to me, Iliakum, um, his house and his son's house with the same name. And so he's been working on that, but he's also, as I mentioned, an author, and he does a podcast on Lost New England. So he does some very interesting projects where he takes pictures from the old days and matches them up to what it looks like today and throughout New England. He's got a book that does that and a couple other projects as well. But so we're lucky to have him as a Cooley. We're lucky we bumped into him. He is part of the Longmeadow Historical Society. He was very excited to be our keynote speaker. So that's going to be great. And we will probably have Melissa, her name is, who wrote a book for kids mainly, but it's a Johnny Appleseed book. And she's part of the association or the, Longmeadow Historic Society. And she'll be there too as well for some interesting things. It's going to be great.
Okay, thank you, David. I
One
don't
of the
know about
topics
you
will
all.
be one of the topics will be
Yes.
the music controversy that Patty referenced with the church back in the day. You know, when you wanted to sing hymns, all of a sudden that was a whole new thing, and there were people very strongly on one side or the other. So we'll hear about where the
Oh,
Cooley
wow.
stood on that, and I'm not going to give it away.
Oh, please don't. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And David, I think Derek said that he would be able to find a half a dozen Cooley houses to tour as well.
Oh, I don't know if there's that many, but I mean there are. I don't know about getting inside any of them, honestly, other than
Okay.
his, and even his. You know, he's got a lot of work to do to get the family ready for that visit. But yeah, there are some historic Cooley homes, so don't know that we'll get inside them, but we'll
Okay.
definitely get a good feel.
We can always just scoot right on by and check them out from the outside.
Yeah, if nobody's home, we can just kind of walk in, maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Back to you guys.
David.
Can I just say something?
Yes, please, Jay.
This will be about, I think it's the 4th time that I've been to Springfield. And this year I'm going to bring 3 of my children, Rydia, Randy, and Frank. Frank has never been to one. He lives in Virginia. So I can promise you a great time to come to Springfield. And
Thank you, Jay.
Can't wait to see you.
Well,
what are the dates? I
um,
don't have the dates.
July 30th to August 1st
Okay.
of 2026. And if you go on the Cooley website, there's a link that you can click to the reunion. You can get a registration form and all the information that you need about the hotel.
I heard a groan from Rick, though. Is that a bad date?
Which Rick?
Rick, I thought it was.
Whichever one groaned.
Yeah.
I don't think I ground. No, it's okay now.
Excellent. You cleared your
we'll see.
calendar.
I'll look at it.
Excellent.
Well, we do look forward to seeing you there, Rick. Okay, so that is our reunion. I'd like to thank Patty and David for all their hard work that they're doing for us. I'm sure you all will appreciate it.
We're going to start working on the cool t-shirts soon here, so watch out.
Oh, good. Okay. Fantastic. They have to be special for our 90th.
We'll try.
Definitely.
Oh, you guys
will
always do such a good
definitely
job.
be special.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then
So I'm sorry, Patty, go ahead.
no. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I did forget to say at the beginning, if you had any questions for the board, go ahead and put them in the chat. But since that is all for our presentations, I'm just going to go ahead and open the floor. Does anybody have any questions for me or any of the other board members about anything? No?
I don't necessarily. Hello.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. That's not really a question in a way. I'd like to give a little background on me, my Cooley history. Just because it's a little odd, I think, in a way. The first time I heard about the Cooley Association was when I was 10 years old, and my father had got an invitation to either join or come to a meeting, which he'd already been to when they had one in Canandaigua, New York, which is where Mortimer's from. And I thought back then, I said, you know what, at some point, I think that sounds fun. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to join this association. But it took me 60 years to join because my sister talked me out of it, saying, we didn't have enough history to give you. We just didn't know our line. And what I think is odd about that is that we grew up in the same hometown as Mortimer Cooley. I was born and raised in Canandaigua, New York.
Wow.
And my line is nowhere in any of the books that, of the Cooley Association. And what I'm having a problem with is I'm really struggling with my line. And so I have my own little Cooley group on Facebook where I have 30 different cousins, most of them who I never knew, and they never knew each other. So that's kind of where my story is right now.
Wow.
That is fantastic, Linda. You have your own Cooley group.
Yeah, if somebody wants to look it up, it's Cooleys of Ontario County and Orange County, New York. Supposedly my line comes from the Orange County line, but I can't get past this one relative. It's my second great grandfather. He is the most confusing individual possible. If you want to look him up on Family Search, everybody's got a different theory or story about him, and everybody's deleting, adding, and deleting, and I'm just confused.
Oh, Linda,
So-
that is my story. Nancy and my mom are fourth cousins, and we come from a John Cooley. And there are at least 16 of them. And 2 of them, by the way, in the same area at the same time, married the same woman with the same first name. So that's as far back as Nancy and I have gotten. But yeah, it's a common story in genealogy. When you have a family that didn't necessarily keep track of all of this information, then you're stuck having to learn it on your own. And maybe if you attend the reunion, you might learn something new.
Linda, have you been able to
Unfortunately-
explore the Cooley family website, or are you a member and have a password for our stuff that's online?
Yes, I joined a few years ago, so I'm a lifetime member. There are bits and pieces of my father's line, but even what they have is kind of incomplete. So I was hoping the genealogist would be here tonight so I could ask her what's the best way for me to provide you with at least the information that I do have. And to throw a wrench in it even a little bit more, my mother's cousin, I think it was her first cousin, was actually married to a Cooley that comes from the Benjamin line. So I got a little bit of Cooley all the way around here.
That's also not unusual, but that's good stuff. Yeah, I would say Kirsten can help, but I think also physically, and I don't know, it's tough if nobody tried to join back then with whatever records you had, or if you've got information on other Coolies around you that you know are in the mix. Coming to look at the hard copies in Longmeadow might be interesting for an afternoon or something, but that could be arranged anytime. I don't know where you're from, but let us know.
Hey,
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 Okay.
Linda.
Can you put
everyone.
your group in the chat, please?
Yes, thank you for that. That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, we can. The Cooley family Facebook page can follow or join or something.
Yeah, I'll do that tonight. In fact, Linda, if you want
Thank
to
you.
do the same when we get
Okay.
there, we can speak even more clearly and freely on there.
Now, you don't mind us joining your page, do you, Linda?
No, because most of the people, they think I'm the expert and I'm not, but, it just seemed like nobody really knew each other. And it's strange because even growing up, we did have a couple Cooley family reunions, but after that older generation disappeared, then it just kind of died when I think I was 8 years old was the last one. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you're doing good work to try to get it together, so we'll do what we can.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. It's great information, Linda.
That
Okay,
is
thank you.
that is really jaw-dropping to me because there is my third great grandfather's brother, Matthew Cooley, is buried there. And he lived there and raised his family there.
In Canandaigua?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And
there's 4 cemeteries in the city, and there's a Cooley buried in each one. So
yeah, that would be John's brother Matthew, Joy. That's,
Okay. Yeah.
that's where he's buried. He and
Yeah.
his wife, and we've got the research on all them. So that'll be interesting. Now she's got my curiosity. I just love all this research and all these
Yeah, a little mystery.
connections. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You never know who you're going to meet and what information you're going to find.